Hello guys, welcome to my channel, or welcome back. So today's reading, joint messages from Asmoday and Belial. So, this is like shorter than usual. I pulled less cards because my phone's running out of storage and I'm planning to get a new one, so therefore the next reading, oh yeah, it's gonna be like 7 hours long, alright? Anyways, so let's just hop right into the message. Okay. Oop, I revealed the cards to you. We got Pleiadians. Okay, so this is from both Asmoday and Belial. We got Pleiadians, Men in Black. We have Alpha Centaurians. Why am I like having trouble putting the card down? And Nagas. Also, I'm not trying to give too many warnings right before the video. It's just like I might get a little bit distracted because there's just a bunch of yapping that's happening right now. Like I'm just hearing a bunch of distractions and noises, and it's like, you know, hopefully it doesn't persist during the reading, but it's just like, like it's just throwing me off. All right, anyways, so I'm getting a sense that you guys are attracting a romantic partner, especially because we have like 2 romance cards in this reading with Pleiadians and Nagas. You're attracting someone who will love you unconditionally, someone who will care for you despite the way that you may view yourself or the way that others may view yourself, especially like view yourself. Oh my god. The way others may view you is what I meant to say. You know, there's a lot of people that might not understand the depth of who you are and might judge you from just a surface level way of viewing you. And I feel as though the person that is coming in is a soulmate. So, I mean, obviously, they're not going to judge you from the surface like, you know, other people do. I feel like this person already knows you, especially with the Men in Black card. I feel like this person is planning on coming to you. They've already seen you, they've already analyzed you, they've already been plotting on you. But, like, I don't mean this in, like, a negative or scary way, but I feel like they already know quite a bit about you because they've been gathering information about who you are and just trying to figure out how they should approach you. So I feel like this person has been watching, and maybe they're also kind of, like, a little bit nervous to come forth to you. Maybe there's something that's unique about them that they fear that you may not like, or it's just like, I don't think they're extroverted. They're probably introverted, considering that they choose to research and analyze you before they make a move. So this person has seen you before. I don't think you know them, or you might, but I don't think you know them. I think they know you. It's that type of situation. So this person has been like watching you, and I do feel like they're a soulmate. I do feel they are a soulmate. Okay, this is a soulmate that's been watching you, and they've been analyzing how to approach you. I guess they've been trying to figure it out behind the scenes. All right, and especially with like the Alpha Centaurians cards. See, there's like planning, strategy. So they're trying to create some type of strategy on how to approach you and talk to you, but because they're introverted, you know, it's going to be a little bit more difficult for them to, I guess, like it's giving social anxiety. So I feel like this person is kind of socially anxious in a way, and they're a little bit afraid to talk to you. So, but they're a soulmate, and I feel like they're coming soon. Maybe this is something that they've been manifesting themselves. And so this is just like the sacred time in the universe that you guys were meant to align according to this person's plans and this person's manifestations, or you have been like plotting and like trying to manifest this person. And so, you know, therefore like your manifestation has come into fruition at this current point in time. So yeah, I do feel as though this connection is something that's authentic. It's something that is safe and something that you don't have to be concerned about. And I feel like you guys will be best friends and lovers. So that's what I'm getting. All right, let's hop into Asmodeus' cards. He gives you the Fool. He gives you the Six of Cups, the Hierophant, and Three of Swords. Okay, so in the past, you guys have been let down by quite a lot of people. Perhaps you are choosing to start fresh, okay? Because look at the Six of Cups and the Fool energy. Like, that's both like fresh, childhood learning energy that's presenting itself in this reading. So I feel like you guys have had a lot of heartbreaks in the past with a lot of people. You just haven't been able to trust others, or it's just like you've felt as though when it comes down to your life as a whole, maybe there's just been a lot of disappointing events that have been happening recently. And so you feel very heartbroken, but with this whole entire Fool energy, like, you guys are trying again. You know what I mean? You're trying again with love. You're trying again with your life as a whole. You're trying to move forward despite the difficulties and challenges that you have faced. So I don't even see this as just something that like pertains to just love. I feel like, generally speaking, you've faced a lot of challenges in your life that you've had to overcome. And a lot of them have been leaving you, damaged or heartbroken, but you guys are choosing to recover and try again, despite the pain that is brought forth. Especially with the Six of Cups. Like, I feel like with the Six of Cups energies, like, it's time to approach this situation with like a childlike lens, where it's like, I understand that I've been, traumatized by some of these romantic situations, or people just have treated me wrong and stuff like that. But you know what? I'm going to approach this as if it did not happen. And it's not like you have to forget like those events or whatever, but it shouldn't be something that like completely makes your heart go cold, and it's like you just will never associate with people and you're just giving up on life and things like that. It's like, relax, recenter, and try again. The Hierophant, it's like, I do feel like maybe you and this person will meet in a religious or spiritual environment, or maybe your spirituality has helped you find a new way of, I guess, looking at life. Maybe your spirituality is something that is going to support you during this time, during this rebirth with the Fool. Your spirituality is going to be something that you should rely on for help, your tarot cards and stuff like that. I mean, some of you guys need to get a tarot deck yourself if you haven't already, but I'm assuming that a lot of the people that are watching my channel, listen, you guys have the deck. If you don't have a deck, then it's time to get on that, because I feel like your spirituality is going to be a major resource in this era of your life. This is going to be something that supports you through this rebirth. Okay, does that make sense? Like, is what I'm saying making sense here? Your spirituality is something that's going to really help you get up and fight back and come into this next era of your life from a healed, newfound perspective. So I feel like that's what he's touching on with the Hierophant card, but perhaps it's also like you guys both share the same spirituality. You guys both enjoy a lot of the same things, generally speaking. But I do feel as though, like, you guys, because you're twin flames, because you're soulmates, like, you guys share a lot of the same practices, you know what I mean? So that's what I'm getting. I thought about like paganism for some, but that's for some. So we have death and we have good luck. So yeah, like I said, like this is a moment where there is death, where there's an ending to something that has gone on for a long time, which is, I guess, your outlook on life, thinking that, there's no worth to living on this planet, that when you are constantly opening up to other people, they'll take advantage of you. But I feel like you guys need to let that mentality die. And if you're watching this reading, I'm pretty sure you already have, okay? Because we do have the Fool, we do have the Six of Cups. Like, you guys are approaching this rebirth with a different perspective. Just don't be so hard on yourself. And I guess what I'm trying to say is, don't be so serious about everything. You know what I mean? There's no need to just take everything so seriously. Like, just go with the flow, especially with the good luck energy. Just understand that the universe has your back. Stop trying to force things, okay? Just let luck, let prosperity, let magic flow to you. There's no need to force it. So let this like past you die. Let this past you that's always constantly, just like stressed out and just like angry and just needing something, or I guess expecting something to be exactly the way it needs to be. Like, I'm not saying it isn't good to have expectations, about your life, but I'm saying, like, don't take everything so seriously, because you're just going to stress yourself out. Like, you're just going to make yourself more miserable. Just let everything flow and just understand that there's a divine reasoning for you also being the way you are. So I felt called to mention that, but like, this is ultimately a moment where you're choosing to get up and try again. And I feel like there's going to be a lot of good luck and just spiritual support on your path, especially since we have the Hierophant card. Like, there's spirits that are helping. There's, demons, angels that are guiding you along this path. And you don't have to be, scared to try again, to heal again, to love again, to experience the world once again, just because of a couple of heartbreaks and, just because of some of these events. We're all going to experience struggle in our life, but it doesn't mean that we have to make our life all about struggle and, sadness. There's a lot of beauty that maybe you're overlooking. And, he encourages you once again to look at this from a very fresh perspective. You know what I mean? Have that optimism like children do, because let's be honest, children are resilient as hell, okay? At least, when I was a kid, I was resilient as fuck. But you know what I mean? Like, after you get your ass in trouble, it's like, oh, you cry a little bit. Then you just go back to playing with toys. Or, you color. It's like, you just get up and move again. So I'm just saying, like, that was such a stupid comparison. After you get in trouble, you just go back to play. That's so stupid. Anyways, you know what I'm trying to say. You know what I'm trying to say here. There's a lot of great luck on your side. There's a lot of spiritual assistance, and perhaps this is also like a really great era for like your spirituality. Like, you're learning new things as well. And when you're coming into like this divine union with your soulmate, like, you guys will learn from each other, and together you'll really elevate your spirituality. But you got to let that Three of Swords go. You got to let that heartbreak go. You can't always hold on to it. You have to be open to the love that is presenting itself, and not be so cold and close yourself off. Let the sun, let the light touch you. You don't have to be afraid of people's love just because of other people and the way that they've treated you. You know what I mean? So I feel like that's what he's saying. Okay, he gives Sage Goddess and Dryads. So he's like, yeah, clear out your thoughts with the Sage Goddess. Like, release the things that are holding you back. Maybe it's also time to remove some things that remind you of the past. Things that remind you of suffering and struggle in your space. Like, if you have like a gift or whatever from like an ex that just isn't serving you, remove it. You know what I mean? Or you have just something in your room that reminds you of a struggle, a situation that what's painful for you, remove that, because that energy is like festering in your space. It's taking over your space. Okay. So, and also just like I said, clear your thoughts. Approach this with, that childlike mind. There's a big emphasis on that in this reading. Clear your thoughts with Sage Goddess, okay? And with Dryads, I feel like a way that you guys could clear your mind is by stepping into nature. Interacting with nature and feeding animals. And I feel like you guys have like a special connection to animals, perhaps, like working at like a shelter, a humane society for animals. Volunteering at a humane society is something that you guys could probably do because it could clear your mind. So that's what I'm getting, but like connect with nature. Get out into the elements, because that's a great way to ground yourself and just clear your mind. Take walks. That's a great way that you can do that. But yeah, there's just a lot of great luck, like big emphasis on the good luck card right here. Like there's just so much luck and just so much like there's manifestations that are coming into your life with this whole entire next cycle that is presenting itself. And you guys don't even know. You don't even know what is going on. I mean, you know that soulmate's coming in, but there's more. There's more. All right, so let's get into Belial's. Oh, I forgot to pull my other cards. I was about to hop right into Belial's. Let's pull these cards first. You know what I mean? Slow down. The king needs to slow down. I'm moving fast. Okay. I'm going to put my microphone down to shuffle. What other messages does Asmoday have for the collective watching this reading? What other messages? Okay, so he gives you cleanup, sleep, trust. I apologize. And Tuesday. Okay, so yeah, emphasis on cleaning up your space and removing the energies and toxins that fester in your room or wherever the hell, in your house, in your apartment, in your home. Remove all of the things that prevent you from healing, all of the things that hold energy from the past. With sleep, perhaps it's like some of you guys need to rest, like you're stressing yourself out. And so it is time for you guys to really prioritize your sleep schedule and rest. Some of you guys need to drink lavender tea before you go to sleep. And there's also maybe significant messages that are coming through your dreams. And with trust this reading, trust this message, trust your manifestations, trust this cycle, and learn to trust again. Because maybe some of you guys' trust is broken from these past experiences, and it's time to rebuild that. And ultimately, I guess, where am I trying to go? Ultimately, heal the way that you view relationships with others, right? With Tuesday, I feel like some of you guys may have done a ritual on a Tuesday that is manifesting very soon, or perhaps you need to do a ritual on Tuesday, Mars Day, War Day, the day of passion and fire. Or perhaps you guys need to reignite that fire in your life. You need to reignite passion in your life. You can find inspiration outside in nature. You just need to, I guess, heal. You need to heal, and the best way that you can heal and reignite that fire is by going out in nature. Like, I feel like you guys are really connected to the elements. So relight your flame and be passionate about life once more. All right. I was going to pull the demon of the day, but I don't feel called to anymore. So, all right, let's hop into Belial's now. Let's jump right into it. Okay, we got 2 of Wands. We have death. Okay, see, there's a lot of death energy. We have death over here. And we have the Fool. We have death. We have 9 of Pentacles. And we have 6 of Pentacles. Okay, so he says that you guys are already aware that you need to transform. If you're watching this reading, you're already aware that there's a transformation that is awaiting you. So just commit to it. Don't resist death. Let it end what needs to end. Let it end the expectations that people will hurt you in life. And let the full cycle bring forth a new expectation that people aren't out to get you or hurt you. Open your heart. Especially with like the 9 of Pentacles, I really do feel as though some of the issues you might be facing is because of your mentality. But when you have the mentality that the universe is supporting you, that you are being supported by the spirits, that you are prosperous, that you attract exactly what it is that you desire, that you attract good love and great relationships, like that is what you will attract. And so it's time to adopt that mentality for the cycle. And also just like reframe your mind. I feel like also there's an emphasis on really giving back with the 6 of Pentacles. I did mention about like the Humane Society and animals. So maybe helping animals that are injured or, you know, taking care of animals is a way that you can gain, you know, this good karma, this good luck. All right. The more that you give to other people, like I've been talking about like good positive energy, the more of that you're giving, the more you attract. So be sure to always, you know, lend a hand when you can to your community and the people that need it, if you can, in the ways that, you know, you feel called to. Some of you guys do it through art. You do it through your self-expression. It's healing to other people. And so make sure that you are constantly putting that as something that is important in your life, giving back to people, because perhaps it is a part of your divine purpose. You're a healing person. Does that make sense? That's part of your divine purpose. And I feel like that's all he's really saying with the tarot. Also, it's just about like relaxation. Like I said, it's not about forcing things to happen. It's just about letting things naturally happen. Does that make sense? All right. Let's hop into the oracle. So we have the Knight and we have Harpy Eagle. So Belial, he encourages you to look at your shadow with the Knight card. Some of you guys, ooh, and look, we have sleep. So maybe it's also like talking about messages coming in at night. You guys' crown chakra is really active at night. Okay, so I just had to point that out. Also, like the incense, the smoke that I'm seeing in this image. Like I said, going back to the Sage Goddess card, sorry, I'm just like making connections. You know, going back to the Sage Goddess card, you guys really need to like clear out your space with like, you know, with smoke. You just really need to clear the energy because it's helping you transform when you clear this energy. It's helping you heal in a way. But anyways, going back to what Belial has to say, he gives you Knight because he's like, you need to face your shadow. And you need to also look at some of the things that aren't working. in your life. And you need to decide whether you're going to continue pursuing that or fixing that. Especially with like the harpy eagle paired with this, it's like some of these things in your life, perhaps it's like your mentality with what we were talking about with the like Nine of Pentacles. Is your mentality actually protecting you? Or is it making things way worse? You have to like look at some of the things in your life like that. And you also have to be willing to let go of some coping mechanisms as well, I feel. Because perhaps some of them are unhealthy. But anyways, going back to the Knight card. You have things in your shadow that are begging to be explored and healed. And so within this cycle, you're learning to do that. Perhaps even this soulmate is going to bring out aspects of your shadow. And you have to be willing to embrace some of these aspects, but also heal some of these aspects with the Knight card. And be also unafraid to reveal that to the people that are loving to you. Perhaps you hide some of the most authentic aspects of yourself when it comes down to other people because of some past experiences you have faced. But you are going to learn to be you unconditionally in this new cycle. And like I said, I feel like you guys are pretty aware of these things that I'm talking about. You're pretty aware that you need to heal. You're pretty aware that you need to let this love in to your life. So that's what I'm feeling with that Knight card. And maybe within your dreams, it's like there's a lot that's being revealed to you that you're just not really like picking up on. Perhaps the signs are really subtle, especially when you're not expecting them. So it's time to also, take note of that. But with the Harpy Eagle, it encourages you that, you can have your life be exactly how you want it to be. Like I said, it's all about the mentality. Have the mentality that, you're always attracting prosperity, that you're always abundant, that the universe is always taking care of you, and it will show in your life. And also just have faith in your manifestations, truly, because they are manifesting at this time. Some of you guys are ready to give up. Don't give up. You know what I mean? This full energy that is coming in, like, you really need to change the way that you're thinking about your life right now. And I understand, like, feeling beat down. I'm not saying that you don't have the right to feel that way. But it's time to try again. Going back to what Asmoday said. What else does Belial have to say? He gives you cinnamon rolls. Peppermint. And I felt called to pull a third one, Sacred Space. So with the cinnamon rolls card, he's like, see, there's love. There is genuine love that's coming in. So welcome it with open arms. This is someone who is going to be committed to you. Someone who is going to make an effort to show love to you. Spoil you and care for you. I feel like you guys are used to having to always do everything alone. You're used to people leaving you alone. And what I'm trying to say is that you're used to being independent. You're used to independence, so you don't expect other people to help you. You don't expect other people to, genuinely care for you and give you help and support. But this person that's coming in will. This is someone who is serious about you. You're also probably, not really used to being in a serious relationship with someone. Or, a relationship where somebody actually takes you seriously. But you have to open your heart. That's the most important thing. I guess that's the most important message within this reading. It's about opening your heart and being unafraid to feel love again. And with the cinnamon rolls energy, it's also like about being unafraid to give love. You know, if somebody is being loving towards you, you don't have to pretend that that's something that you can't do back or give back. Maybe it's also kind of like I said, when you help other people, you're giving love to these people. I mean, when you're volunteering or donating or even taking care of the animals, like I mentioned, like you give love energy, which helps you attract that back. And with peppermint, like, big emphasis on healing. You guys are healing from this, I guess, mentality, which kind of appears as like a spiritual sickness of sorts. Maybe, like I said, your spirituality is really helping you get back on course. And some of these books and maybe even like readings on YouTube, videos are going to help you feel inspired. Maybe, like I said, you're joining a community. Did I say that? Well, the Hierophant card kind of emphasizes like a spiritual community. So maybe like you're finding a community that's going to help you feel, I guess, more faithful when it comes down to your life as a whole. But, you know, if you guys have this mentality where it's like, I can't be healed, it's like, please, you can be healed. It's presenting itself right here in the reading where there is healing that is happening. And with the Sacred Space card, like even if you feel like there's nothing that's really actually happening, you know, you feel like there's no healing, you feel like there's no progress being made, there is. There is. Some of you guys aren't even aware about the soulmate that's like watching you. But see, there's like things that are happening behind the scenes that you might not be aware of. But there's a lot of healing that's going on, and you need to trust. Okay, you need to trust everything that's happening right now. You need to trust this change because this is for your better good. And, you know, be open to love again. Be open to sweetness, and don't resist death because it needs to happen. Okay? So, let's pull some keywords from Belial. What keywords does Belial have for the collective? What keywords does Belial have? Okay, so let's sort these cards out. He gives you many options. Childhood. In heat, creation. And do not worry. Okay? So going to the childhood card, you know, we already emphasized with Asmoday's portion, we already emphasized, you know, having a childlike perspective on your situation. Adopting the mentality of a child, where it's like you haven't necessarily experienced a lot of like these deep traumas that, you know, start to appear as life progresses. You haven't really experienced those traumas, and they haven't really changed your, you know, psychological code. Does that make sense? You haven't experienced a lot of these hardships yet, and so therefore you still have this purity to you that makes you feel optimistic about the world. So it's like, adopt that mentality. The mentality of being optimistic, despite the things that you have experienced on this earth. There's also many different, there's many different opportunities presenting itself at this time. Opportunities for growth. And I guess good experiences that are opening up to you. Maybe it's also like, I felt like saying, like, you don't have to feel trapped in the situation that you are in. There's doors that are open and you aren't seeing them. I felt called to say that. There's many different ways to go about this. There's many different ways to live your life as well. You don't have to do it the way that other people do. Your life is not going to be traditional. It was never meant to be traditional. So you're right on time. And I feel like, with this Hunter in Heat card, there's an emphasis on, a partner, obviously. I was talking about this union throughout this reading. You guys both together are very powerful. You guys are a team of magicians, and you guys can create some of the most, intense outcomes when you guys work together and participate in sex magic together. And also with the In Heat card, it's like you guys have created the world that you have been wanting. Through, your manifestation, through your efforts, you just have to step into that world. You have to clear out the old, because the old is going to want to call you back and be like, don't heal, don't grow. But you have to clear that out. You have to prevent that from taking over your life. You have to prevent it from stopping you. And with the Hunter Do Not Worry card, it's self-explanatory. Don't worry. Everything is working out the way that it's supposed to. And you don't see the beauty that's going on behind the scenes. Like, there's just so much that is unfolding for you. And yeah, I really do feel like this person's lover, the soulmate, they're coming in. And you have to trust. You have to trust. Is there anything else to say? I might pull some more cards. Let me pull from a Mystic Martian Oracle. Is there anything else Belial and Asmoday have to say to the collective? Is there anything else? Is there anything else? Is there anything else? Belial and Asmoday. Okay. It's reversed. Okay, they both give you an Uni key. Okay, so you guys are concerned about other people interfering with this change for some. You're concerned about some other parties that might be looking to sabotage you. You don't have to be concerned because you're protected. Maybe you're just concerned about people generally speaking. You're concerned about opening your heart, but you're protected. So you don't need to worry about what other people are going to try to do. No one's going to try to interfere with this change that is happening. Maybe some of you guys are like, I can't because, people are going to try to stop me from, maybe it's also kind of like some of your thoughts. You feel like you just can't change because you've been programmed in a way where it's like you're just used to struggling. But, there's spiritual support. There's spiritual support that is helping you get out of that mindset. It's time to be unafraid of your demons, all right? With reptilians reversed, it's like there's nothing to be afraid of when it comes down to this new era. So just move forward. You've obviously been getting a lot of signs. You've been getting a lot of signs and a lot of readings and messages that that tell you to open your heart, to expect change. 555. You've been receiving a lot of those signs, but you're afraid. And you can't be afraid any longer. You're protected. So some of you guys also might think like, oh, the reason why I'm experiencing this is because spiritual attacks. There's no spiritual attacks happening. That's what you think. Because you feel like people are against you for being yourself. You feel like people just don't vibe with you because you have all this power and that you're sacred, you're a master witch. You feel like people are constantly trying to get you, but no one's trying to get you. You're protected. And if you believe that you are this master manifestor, this master witch, and that you have a divine purpose for being here, like, you got the team to show for it, right? So you don't have to feel afraid about the change. You don't have to feel afraid about opening your heart. No one's going to hurt you. And you can try again. Some of these experiences they happen so you can learn, so you can grow. And some of them might trickle in from past lives. But you're learning to heal those past lives. You're learning to heal yourself even in this lifetime, especially with the peppermint card. There's healing that's taking place right now. So just trust everything that's happening right now. Everything is divine right now. So I feel like that's all I have to say. If you enjoyed this reading, feel free to subscribe, comment down below if it resonated. Hit the post notification bell. No, I'm just joking. I don't care if you do it. I don't care if you don't. Donate to my throne wish list if you really, really enjoyed it. And I'll see you very soon. Take care and goodbye.